Hi there, this is Phil from Blue Llama Web Design, and today I'm just going to show you over the order management process for sellers within the Anina.je website. So the first thing we're going to look at is the customer ordering experience, so that you guys understand what your customers are doing when they go onto the website and the different stages that they go through to place an order. Then we're going to look at the emails which are sent out by the website when an order is made. There's three different types of emails. One is sent to the Anina team, the second one is sent to the customer to confirm the order, and then one to you guys showing the products relating to you within that order. Within that email there's a link to the seller's dashboard, which we'll also take a look at, and then within that seller's dashboard we'll also look at the actual process of managing your order, updating customers and marking the order as complete. Okay, so the first thing on our list was to look at the customer's experience of buying something on the Anina website. So this is the homepage here, which you should recognise. We're not actually going to choose any of the existing products because they're linked to sellers, and obviously when those products are bought, they'll be sending emails to sellers, which we don't really want to do to confuse people. So I've set up a test product and a test seller, the Blue Llama test store here. And you can see this is a simple product, so it's got no variations. Some products that you may have set up will have variations such as colour, size, materials, and those would affect the price, so the customer would have to pick those first before being able to add them to the cart. But this is just a simple product. You'll see share buttons here, so the customer can easily share that product on Facebook or Twitter or by email to a friend, and then you have the full description down here, and then this tab here, which is quite interesting, is ask a seller a question. So the customer can fill this in here, and what this will do will send you directly an email with the question that customer's asked, and then you can just respond to that by using the reply button in your email client and let that customer know the answer to their question. So if we just add this to the cart now, you'll see that up here something will pop down, and customers don't have to at this point. They can go through and buy multiple products from multiple sellers. That's the big feature of Anina, and each one of the products here will have the product name and then sold by and who it's sold by, and this links to that seller's page. Now I don't have any products on my seller's page here, but you would have just a list of every single product relating to that seller, and then all this here, which we'll look at in a moment, the description, the logo, the contact details and the social media icons, and we'll look at how you can change those in a minute's time. So also the ability to add coupons down here and then calculate shipping, but at the moment we're just shipping to Jersey, but that will be changing in the near future. Also the ability here for the customer to select, as I said, just doing free delivery right now, but also to pick up from the seller, so that you don't need to post something out to them, they can come and collect it. So if we just proceed to the checkout, then you will see there's the ability for the customer to log in with a Facebook, so it kind of links the Anina account with their Facebook, so in future rather than having to remember a password, they can just click on a button and log in with their Facebook if they're already logged into Facebook, then it will just automatically open up their account within Anina. So as I said, at the moment we're just restricted for billing you can select any country, but for delivery it has to be to Jersey, and the customer will just need to fill out this form. Pretty straightforward stuff, so I'm just going to go through and fill some of my details in. Obviously they need an email address which all communication will take place with, and they also need to enter a phone number as well. You can see these have got a star next to them, which means they have to fill them in, otherwise the form here, when they proceed to PayPal, it will identify that they haven't filled out those fields. Now there's the ability here, a customer can make an order without creating an account, but if they do create an account, then it allows them to log in the future using the My Account button up here, and this billing information and all address information will be stored within the Anina website. It also means that when they do place an order under an account, then they can trace that account and they can look back over the orders they've made over time and see the status of their orders and things like that. So okay, in this instance I will create an account. It's not difficult to do. You can also select a different delivery address to their billing address if they're giving that item as a gift perhaps, and maybe if they were sending that as a gift, they might want to put a note in here for you guys to say this is for a birthday, do not include a receipt, or they could they can add whatever information they want in there, and that will be sent out to all the different sellers. So there's only one order note box there, so if they're ordering 5 different items from 5 different sellers, then that's going to be sent to everyone. So maybe that might not relate to you. If you don't understand what they're trying to say in their order notes, then don't worry, it may be for another seller within that same order. Okay, so here we have the overview. They've picked free delivery in this case, and then their only option at the moment is to pay with PayPal. They also need to click here to tick to accept the Anina terms and conditions, and you may want to have a look over those. So once they click on the proceed to PayPal button, although we are looking at integrating credit cards as well, but with PayPal you do have, if you don't have a PayPal account, it will automatically open in this tab here, but if you don't have a PayPal account, then you can also pay with a card by just clicking on this button here and entering your card details. In my case I do have a PayPal account, so I'm just going to enter that in there. It's going to cost me 1 penny. And we are pretty much there. So the order is made, and some emails will now be, there you go, that's my Outlook telling me that some emails have been sent out, which we'll look at just in a moment. Okay, so the customer has placed their order on the Anina website, and just looking at my Outlook, I've actually got 4 emails. Don't worry, the customer doesn't receive 4 emails, you don't receive 4 emails. These are just the total number of emails that have been sent out by the website, and also one via PayPal. That's because I'm also the customer, I'm also the seller, and I also get the email from the Anina website for the Anina team. So first of all, the customer will get a PayPal confirmation, that kind of standard stuff there, which has all information of their order number and what they bought. As well as that, the customer will get this one, your order receipt. So this again, it has that your order is going to be processed, all the information about the shipping choices, the products. Again, in here it says who that product is sold by, and the link again to the seller's page, which also has contact details. And it has this text there: your order will be fulfilled by the relevant seller, not centrally by Anina. In the event of any issues with your order, then please contact the relevant seller directly using one of the methods below. And if the person has ordered 5 different items from 5 different sellers, it will have each one of those sellers' contact details listed there. There's the note that we talked about. This is for a birthday, please do not include a receipt, and then also the information that they entered there. So if they did enter their email address incorrectly, then they might well get in contact and tell us to update that. This order here, this one is for the seller, so this is what you guys will receive. So it has the customer details here, and then the products which relate to you. So it just says the quantity and the price, and then it has a nice link here to the seller dashboard, which we'll be revisiting in a second. And then just to let you know, the Anina team will also get an email similar to the one you've received here, but it will contain all the different products from all the different sellers. Okay, so if we just go back into the email that you guys would have received, this one here, and we will click on the seller dashboard and see where that goes. Okay, so as you can see, I'm already logged in as a seller. If you weren't, then you may be asked to log in. but you would, as long as you're logged in as a seller account, see the seller's dashboard here. Now you can see these top 3 options here have sellers next to them, and then these options underneath don't do. Now that's because these options underneath are for absolutely everyone, and as a seller you can also go on Anina, logging in as your seller details, and purchase someone else's product. That's no problem. So never get confused with this view orders here, which is your orders that you've actually made a purchase on the Anina website for, with this one here, which is your customer orders, which is people that have purchased from you. So wish list, edit account, all these kind of details here are just relating to information if you were to make an order yourself and have something delivered to you. So the ones that we're really interested in as a seller are these top 3 up here. So we'll have a look at customer orders in a second, but first of all let's have a quick look at these 2. First of all, your seller's shop details. Now if we just click on this, it will take you into this page here, which is really quite important stuff. Your shop email address, really important to get that one right, because that is the email address which is going to be receiving all customer queries from the contact seller form that we looked at earlier on all the product pages, and also really importantly is all your orders will be sent through to this address as well. So make sure that address there is monitored quite a lot, because you really want to be fulfilling orders as soon as they come in. Phone number, that's going to appear on your seller's page and also in the emails that are sent to customers, and then your address, your website, and all your social media. Oops, we have a mistake there, it doesn't matter. All that will appear on your store, your seller's page, which is your store URL here, which and this thing here you can supply to people. You can put in store in your shop, really advertising the fact that you're selling on the Anina website. And then also a description here. This is limited to a certain number of characters, as you can see down here. So that's basically because we don't want too much text on the top of the page. And then of course your logo here. So upload your logo and it will be resized accordingly. So you don't really have to worry about the size of it, and save your settings here. So do make sure all of that is set correctly. So if we just go back to the seller's dashboard here, the other thing is, and I'm sure you're familiar with this because you've loaded loads of products already, and you wouldn't be watching this if you hadn't loaded products, but this will also take you into your product list. I only have 3 here, and that allows you to add as many products as you want, and also your store details are available from there as well. So okay, so that's those 2 options, and then we've got the customer orders option here, so we'll just click on that and see where that takes us. Okay, so here we have the orders area of the seller's dashboard. It also has some links as before to different pages. This is like the vendor admin area where we looked at where we can add products and set the store settings, so those kind of lead to the same place in a way. And then you also have this here, sales reports, so quite simplistic at the moment. You may look at enhancing these at the future, but you can just look at what your top selling products are. That's just by number, and then top selling products by how much they've actually brought in terms of sales. So really quite simple, but at least there's something there for you to keep an eye on. Then it has the earnings for the month. I think there's a bug at the moment where the net income isn't correct, so we need to look at that, but the gross sales is correct. And there's also an export to CSV file, that's like an Excel file, but again that's not quite working at the moment, but by the time you see this video maybe that will be. And then most importantly of all, underneath that is a list of your orders for the last 90 days. So what we have here is the order date, who the customer was, the number of items that they purchased that relate to you. The primary item is kind of just named one of the items basically in that order. So if people have bought 2, it tends to be the first item that alphabetically. So it's just an indication of, so you can easily identify that order. Status shows it pending. We'll look at those in a minute, and then the gross sales and then the net income. So the gross sales, obviously it's 1p here, so it's difficult to tell. Gross sales is, say you sell something for £100, The customer pays £100, so that would show there. The net income is what you receive from Anina, so that's the amount the customer paid minus the commission. So if you're on 20% commission, then you'd see £100 here and then £80 here. Now that's not it, because we can drill down. So if you click on the order number, then you can drill down to see a little bit more information. And a lot of this is the same as what you've received in the email. So it's got the contact details, the telephone number, that customer note that we looked at, and then the billing address and the delivery address. I do notice the delivery address is in darker colour because you don't want to send, I mean these two could be different, so you don't want to send a package out to the billing address. Please do send it out to the delivery address. Details of your product, you can also click on there and that'll take you to the product page, and then really quite importantly again, order notes, and then the ability here to add a note yourself and also to update the order to different statuses. So you can kind of ignore a lot of this. This relates to the IPN here, and the PDT is all relating to PayPal, and the stock's been reduced. That's if you do manage stock. If you say you've only got 5 items of something, someone buys one of them, then it will get reduced to 4, but it will say that on orders where you don't manage the stock as well. And then it will be changed from pending to processing once PayPal confirms that the payment has been received successfully. Okay, so this is really, really important. This is a way that you can communicate with your customer. Now I would tell you definitely use this rather than sending an email, because if you add information here, this will be recorded in the database, will be able to be seen by the Anina team, and will also be able to be seen by you within this page here, which we'll see in a moment. If you communicate with the customer just by replying to their order email, then that's kind of doing things outside of the database, so none of that information is kept. So it really is best to do it here, and we would always recommend that you make communication via this dashboard here. So you have these different statuses here: pending, processing, refunded, cancelled. You can kind of use these as you wish. They don't actually do anything in terms of the system. They're just really a status that we, as part of the Anina team, can see what the status of that order is, and you can as well, but they don't actually have any function as such. But the completed one does. So when you mark an order as completed, then it sends an email out to the customer, and that order is kind of filed away as being done and dusted, and nothing else needs to be done with it. So that's really quite important. And it is, whenever you do dispatch an order out, please do come in here and set the status as completed. You can set the status as pending if you want, or as refunded, but if you do a refund, if a customer does ask for a refund or does cancel their order, then you will need still to send an email manually to Anina and ask for a refund to be placed on your account, and for the customer to be refunded via PayPal. So this doesn't, when you set it here to refund it, it doesn't automatically refund that order amount back, because it's really quite difficult. If you consider that there could be an order with 2 different sellers, then and only one PayPal transaction's taking place, and it is really difficult to do all of that automatically. So you will need to send an email to Anina saying that you need something to be refunded, who it's for, and what the amount is. And they'll obviously do that manually, then come back to you and confirm to you and the customer as well. So you can set something as refunded, and then or any of these statuses here, and then click here to send a note to the customer. If you don't click that, then it's just adding for your own records and for the Anina team as well, who can see this if they are to look up your order. So you could say, I don't know, waiting for stock to arrive, due in 7 days. Do you want to send that to the customer? It's probably good to do that, but you don't have to. So you could set the status as processing and click update order, and then you can see here on the order notes, from test store, so that's it'll say from your store name, and then the message here, and it does say sent to customer even though it wasn't sent to customer, so I'll have to look at that. That will be sorted out by the time you use this dashboard, I'm sure. Okay, so if you do want to send to customer, then you do need to tick this box here, and hello Phil, the order will be dispatched in 7 to 10 days. Okay, and if this is ticked here and then I click on the update order, then that will send an email to the customer automatically with this status in here, and it will say it's coming direct from test store, whatever your seller's name is. And again, so the same thing will happen this time. It will put in brackets sent to customer, and it means it this time. And as you can see, you've got a complete traceability here. So would always recommend that when it is dispatched, then do send a message to the customer. And really importantly, do set the status here as completed. Boom. So the customer receives an order. Anina, the order kind of is closed down, if you like. So if you don't close it down, then they may go through and see that orders are open and may query you. So always set this to completed and send the message to the customer. And there we go. So you would have sent your parcel to this address here, and take a note of this customer note here, so you wouldn't have included a receipt. And I think that's about it from the seller dashboard. Fantastic. If you do have any questions, then do fire them off to Anina, and if you do have any feedback on the website or anything that's not working, then please do report it to us, because these things might not get fixed unless you identify them. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks very much, and goodbye. Thank you.